Everybody, Midrange 31 back here for FSi DFS. I'll be breaking down the 7-game slate for Monday for Major League Baseball. Hope everybody had a great weekend. It's a beautiful Sunday here on the East Coast. And hopefully you got a chance to go out and enjoy the nice weather and get ready for the work week. And let's get you started on building some lineups for tomorrow night. Just a programming note that this slate starts early, so it's a 6:10 start. They included the San Francisco Milwaukee game, so it's not your normal 7:05 start, like 7:07 sometimes like that. There's actually 2 games before 7 o'clock that DK put on the slate to make it a 7-game slate instead of a 5-game slate. No real weather issues that I can see. The places where there's going to be rain, there should be domes, so nothing concerned. Wind, nothing really stands out there. Very hot in Arizona, so my guess is maybe they'll close the roof for the game because it'd be like 95 degrees at game time. So I'll just have to wait and see there. And other than that, nothing like super important weather-wise, but always keep an eye on it. Check back tomorrow because you never know, things could change overnight. I'm recording this about 11 o'clock at night on the East Coast. So I'm pitching. We actually have some good options. The top 4 pitchers, we have Corbin Burnes, we have Bieber from Cleveland, Max Scherzer, and Walker Buehler. Some good choices there. Some concerns with each one of them. So Burnes is the most expensive one at 10-2. He's had 2 good starts, but he had Baltimore and he had Pittsburgh after a rocky start against the Cubs. I think he'd be my second favorite pitcher out of this top 4 here. He gets San Francisco. San Francisco might have a COVID issue because Yastrzemski got pulled out of the lineup today. He tested positive, and hopefully we don't see more teammates drop. If he does, then that would definitely move him up a little bit. But San Francisco has been hitting recently, and they put up 12 runs today. So, and they match up pretty well, like with lefties and righties. They've got a very deep bench, and they can mix and match. So Burnes had bad in spring training, bad first start, starting to round in the form. I don't know if that continues, but I'm not paying attention to figure it out in cash. GPP, potentially I'll have them in some of my lines there. Next up, Bieber. I'm only concerned about Bieber is Cleveland flies from New York because they just played a series in the Yankee all the way out to LA. Pretty long trip. So sometimes you don't see peak performances when that happens. He had 86 pitches in his last outing, so it looks like he's stretched out. He's going pretty deep. But LA is a hot team. They've been hitting, especially Trout. They've been hitting pretty well, but they're number 2 in Ks. Like, they're striking out a lot too. But they're number 3 in weighted on base average. So, something's got to give. So we'll just have to see. Buehler's had some good games, and he had like only 13 DK points against a Cincinnati team who's probably the worst one in baseball and strikes out a ton also. So I think he'd be 3rd on my list here. Just with the travel out to the West Coast, with the form that Los Angeles has been in, and being at home, even though they do K a lot, and Bieber is a good pitcher, and it seems like he's rounding into form again, I think that I'd play more GPPs than cash. So Max Scherzer is going to be my favorite cash pitcher. He draws a matchup against St. Louis. It's primarily an all right-handed team. Now, St. Louis is in the high strikeout team. I think they're like 27th in Ks, but I think Scherzer is a good enough pitcher that he can manufacture Ks even against a team that has low Ks. He might give up a runner, but he goes deep in the games. And the Mets are 3rd favorite, biggest favorite on the slate. So I think, and I love the discount on him, getting Max at like 9.3 when he's probably going to be like 10K down the road. It doesn't really look like he's lost much. He still looks like the same Max Scherzer. He's a fierce competitor, and I think he goes out there and has a really good game. So he's going to be my favorite SP1 in cash tomorrow. Walker Buehler rounds out the top guys. More concerns against him. Now he gets Arizona. Arizona is not as bad as we think there. If you look at the numbers, they're actually in the teens for most offensive characteristics, but they are number 5 in Ks. Walker's only gone 5 innings in most of his starts. Dodgers have a great bullpen, and starting pitchers tend to have a short leash with Dave Roberts. His starts have garnered him 17.7 DK points, 12 DK points. His last time out, he only had 3.9 DK points. It's just, I can't do that. So in cash at least. I think, you know, with Arizona being a high strikeout team potentially, I like him in GPPs, especially at the price point of 8.8 for Walker Buehler. So I think, you know, I'll lead off my GPP lineups with him, but in cash, I'm not interested. Then we have a whole mid-range of pitchers that are just, I really don't like. Valdez has had a good first start. His last two starts have been horrible. He is up against a hot-hitting Texas team who is at home, and I really like the righties there. They're probably my second favorite stack on the slate, so I'm fading Valdez at 8.4. Eovaldi just faced the Blue Jays like 5 days ago, last start, and now he's going to Toronto. And here's something that we have to keep our eye on: is this is the first time a major league team is flown to Canada, and anybody that is not vaccinated is not allowed in the country. Now, because of HIPAA laws, the teams aren't really disclosing who is vaccinated and who is not. But we are going to find out rather quickly, because we're going to see some of the Red Sox didn't make the trip. We all know, I think Tanner Houck, one of their starters, is not vaccinated. I believe he declared that publicly, so we know he's not going to make the trip. So they had to move one of the bullpen arms into the starting rotation, so they're going to be short an arm in the bullpen. And we don't know what this Boston lineup is going to look like either. So something definitely to watch. So not really a fan of Eovaldi going up against Toronto. He didn't do great just facing them, and their lineups getting stronger as guys get healthy and come back into the lineup. So plus, you know, the Red Sox traveling and everything, not really interested in him there. Miokolas against the Mets. The Mets are dead last in strikeouts this year, so there's really no K upside. He's not a K pitcher. The Mets can actually hit pretty well, so no thanks to him in the mid-range either. Kelly gets a shot, gets to play the Dodgers, and he actually hasn't been bad. His average DK points per game for his first couple outings have actually been pretty solid, but I think we finally see some regression here against a good lineup. So looking at the game log, like San Francisco, he had 19.4, Houston, who had 21, and Washington had 21.3. So not horrible lineups. So he's been solid, but I think some regression is coming there. I think the Dodgers are my favorite stack on the slate. He tends to be more of a reverse splits guy. If you look at him over the course of his career, he's given up way more home runs and power to right-handed batters than left-handed batters. So really like the Dodger righties, and their lineup is just, and they're the biggest favorite on the slate too. So no thanks to any of these medium range pitchers. Gibson against Colorado is could be an interesting choice at 6.8 for a cheaper guy. His K rate seems to be inflated this year. I think that's going to come down to earth. It's the highest one he's ever had in his career. He hasn't really changed anything. So it just seems like happenstance, because it's really unexplainable that he's not doing anything different, but he's getting better results. So that just doesn't really work. So Colorado's 24th in offensive production against right-handed pitchers on the road. So they're not at Coors, and if they're up against lefties, I really like the Colorado lineup, which is primarily right-handed, but not too interested in them facing a right-handed. So I think Gibson's okay, but I do think the K rate does come down, and I think that he's an okay cheap pitcher, but I prefer Berrios. Berrios just played the Red Sox, and the Red Sox are struggling now. They can't put together hits. They have a high K rate there, and he's averaging, like, he just faced the Red Sox 5 days ago. And again, I know once you see a pitcher, it's not good when you face them again. But again, there might be guys missing out of this Red Sox lineup if they're not vaccinated. They can't go to Toronto. He had 21.5 DK points. He had 6 Ks versus them in 6 innings with 1 earned run. I think he can repeat that, and his price at 5,500 is just obscene. I can't believe that a pitcher that could go 6 innings, could get you 15 to 20 DK points, is actually that cheap. So I am locking him in as my SP2, and I think I'm just moving on. So if you want to play Gibson, I get it. Lorenzen, I guess I can make a case for also with Cleveland. They really didn't hit great against the Yankees. Yankees have good pitchers, but they don't have, and they had Cole today, who's like could be considered elite, but even before that, really haven't been putting up runs like they did early on in the season. So I think he's a good punt pitcher. Plus, you have Cleveland flying out there from New York all the way to LA, some jet lag, getting used to the time change and everything there too. I don't think there's much win equity to Lorenzen. I think he's, just a decent punt. If you're looking for somebody, if you want to be a little bit different, I think I prefer Barrios for much cheaper at 5.5. But if you're looking for something different, I think he could potentially be in play. The win equity, I mean, he's up against Bieber. So if you think the what's the narrative? If you think the Angels are going to get to Bieber and this team's going to be jet lag and tired flying across country, and this is a chance, the first game of the series, for the Angels to get a good jump on them, then I think he's a decent play. It looks like that who was it? I think Rodon was supposed to play or pitch for San Francisco, but he got pushed back to Tuesday. So looks like they're going to use Long. He just opened for them a couple of days ago. Had a decent couple of innings. So, but is he going longer here, or what's going? No pun intended. So you have to see how long is going to go. And if Long is actually going to pitch like maybe 2 or 3 innings, or they're trying to stretch him out, or if he's going to be making spot starts and not be the opener, because he's not listed as like PO on anything. He's actually listed as a pitcher. Then I think at a minimum price of 4K, he's definitely someone to look at against Milwaukee, who's had their struggles against pitchers recently. So, that's something too, if you're looking for a punt to potentially throw out there. I'm fading Dunning and I'm fading Freeland. I think they're in spots where they're going to get lit up. So looking at stacks, I think definitely Dodgers against Arizona. Texas, I love them absolutely against Valdez, who has struggled. He's a lefty. They're righty. Same thing, Philadelphia, the right-handed batters against Freeland. Don't mind playing Harper, either lefty on there. I think he's fine. The Colorado bullpen's not great either. And I'm sure there's some righties there, so you could capitalize there. Like I said, Toronto against Eovaldi didn't do great, just faced them. Toronto's getting healthier, going home. I think it's their home opener, so it'll be some pomp and circumstance, a little extra adrenaline there. Houston, I think, makes a good GPP stack against Dunning. So like some of the pieces there, even though they're injured and banged up, they're a little bit cheaper than they have been. Mets against Mikolas, not striking out, hitting well, doing good. The Angels, I know this probably should be a leverage play because they get Justin Bieber, Shane Bieber. But I think, Justin Bieber might have the same result against them. They're just hitting hot. Trout has been hitting well. Things are coming together there. And I think, they make a good GPP stack there. I'll definitely have some ownership of them. Boston, I think, again, we'll have to see what the lineup looks like, who actually is allowed to play in Toronto. If you don't think, Barrios is priced at 5.5 for a reason, because he's not a good pitcher anymore, and that he can, this Boston team's finally going to figure it out and come alive with all the potential that they have, then that's fine. I think I'd prefer some one-offs, like maybe Deaver or Verdugos, the lefties against him. Other than that, I don't think I'd really looking to fully stack them. Cheap ones, Milwaukee against the opener, and but sometimes that's difficult. If you have solid opener and San Francisco a decent bullpen, if they mix and match them, they might dominate the game, and Milwaukee might not hit very well. Cleveland, if you think Lorenzen's, if you think they're flying across the country and that they're going to be fine and that they're going to actually put up some runs, besides J-Round, they're really not that expensive. I did see that I think their rookie got hurt. He was listed as day-to-day. So Quan might not be in the lineup. So that might give you some even cheaper pieces to play there. And then Arizona, if you think Walker Buehler is still going to struggle, I think they make a great cheap stack also. And your leverage plays would be St. Louis, San Francisco, and Colorado against really good pitchers. So let's look at some lineup builds and we'll get you on your way for your Monday. So the first one for cash, like I said, I'm locking in Max and I'm locking in Barros as my pitcher, and I'm going to take Texas as my team. So I'm going to take Garver, Semien, Seager, Miller. It gives you $4,525 left per player, which is very generous. You can fit some Dodger pieces in here, and definitely if you can fit some Toronto pieces in here, like whoever you want. I think my favorite stack to go along with them would probably be maybe Houston to fit in there, because you get like Gurriel and Bregman, and then like maybe some of the outfielders in there if you want to, but there's lots of options with the 4,525. It's a healthy amount. Take a fifth Texas guy if you want to. Also, if you think there's somebody else in a good matchup there, complete the stack, that's fine. For GPP, again, I think I'm going to try Walker Buehler. I think maybe he does good things right. Arizona has a high strikeout team. I know they do have some right-handed power, but he's a right-handed pitcher. So if he was a lefty, I'd be more concerned. And then, hey, let's take a shot at Lorenzen and Cleveland coming out there and hopefully being jet lagged and tired and missing maybe Quan and a couple of other pieces out of the lineup and not being ready to go. And he goes out there and at his price tag does well. So definitely going to be Dodgers in my primary stack. They have really good BVP batter versus pitcher statistics and history against him. Smith has home runs against him. Muncy has home runs against him. Turner and Betts, all five of them have hit him very well. Even Bellinger. So, and then I think I'm going to mix them with Philly. So just make a choice. Like, who do you like better? Do you like Smith better? Do you like JT Realmuto against Freeman? Hoskin, I think, is solid at first there. Segura, Muncy, whichever one you want to pick there. Turner, and Betts, I think, are the priority there. And then Bellinger's only 32. So if you're not playing Muncy and you want to finish off your Dodger stack, and again, he's has at least 2 home runs against Keller in his career and like 18 at bats. So I think that's decent. And then just figure out if you need to punt out a fielder, somebody cheap or whatever you have left, or take a one-off person to finish off your stack. And I think that's the way we're going. So appreciate you watching. Again, I'm Mega Row 31 from FSi DFS. If you want more information about our company, you can check out the information for the video. I'll give you the link to our Discord and to our website. If you have any question about the slate, or we always say, check back right before lock, to just come back to YouTube and check the video out. And if anything major changes, like a pitcher change, or there's a really great smash play or weather situation, we'll often post some notes in the comments for you just to help you out a second time. First time is helping you out is watching the video, and the second time is trying to help you answer your question, things like that. Again, we can't prove like full lines for you, but if you got a couple of questions of like, do you like this player better, or this pitcher better, or this matchup better, we can try to help you with that. Also reach out to me, Mega Ruler 31 at Twitter. So we appreciate you watching. McKinley should be feeling better. He should be back tomorrow doing a video for a Tuesday slate. So appreciate you watching, and good luck tomorrow.